Many Forex traders are losing their access right now to MetaTrader 4 and 5. And if you're experiencing this problem, then trust me, you're not alone. It's all over the internet. People are kind of going crazy about this because for many years, MetaTrader and their platforms have been the go-to platform for traders, especially in the FX side of things. Now, what is going on? Why is this happening? And what are some of the solutions to the problem? I've put together my best ways here in this video on how to solve this issue. It is a little bit frustrating, and I can understand why people are very annoyed with, brokers like Hugosway and HankoTrade and Sway markets. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think it's really their fault that they're losing MetaTrader. It seems like a MetaQuotes decision. Now, first of all, what has happened? There's very limited knowledge as to why this exactly is going on. Many brokerages, however, are claiming that MetaQuotes is no longer offering, their services on the App Store and that sort of thing. And if you do actually go to MetaQuotes' site, you can't even download MetaTrader 4 from it anymore. So it seems like things are shifting a little bit, but I think that there's something else here at play. It's notably the unregulated brokers that are losing their access to MetaTrader 4 and 5. And I have a guess here. Now, disclaimer, forewarning, this is my opinion and my best guess as to what is going on. I own a software business in the trading space. My company, A1 Trading, builds software tools for traders. You can see on the screen right now some of our tools like the Edge Finder and things like that. So we build tools for traders. So I have a little bit of experience in the software side of things. And I also understand that there is some liabilities here when it comes to offering a platform like MetaTrader to traders that are operating on an offshore brokerage. This is my best guess. I think there might be a little bit of MetaQuotes that's like, hey, offshore brokerages do a lot of sketchy things to their clients. If you thought it was just prop firms pulling some shady business, absolutely no way. Unregulated brokerages could, I'm not saying they do or the ones that are listed on the screen necessarily do this. I'm just saying because there's no outside or third party watching over the activity, they could totally do some black box shenanigans. Like for example, with refusing withdrawals or making slippage more aggressive, as we all know from the My Forex Funds stuff. That was a little bit of a kind of a gag there that they were slipping their traders to HE double hockey sticks. If you've heard about that, if you haven't, I've got a video on that subject when that all kind of went down. But again, prop firms are not the only ones that are doing shady things. The brokerage world has been doing it a whole lot longer than the prop firm world. So why is this happening? Well, it's because unregulated and offshore brokerages are not watched over. Your account is totally up to them to do whatever they want to do to it. It's why personally, I'll give you a little bit of my bias. I'm not a big fan of unregulated brokers and I don't trade with them at all. I have in the last year completely moved away from any unregulated brokerages. All of my money is invested in regulated brokerages. And I know people have issues with regulated brokerages. My last video on this subject got a lot of people being like, yeah, regulated brokerages are so limited, they're so useless, I don't want to trade on there. I get it, they're not as attractive. However, you have to understand, why are these ones so much more attractive? Well, them and others, the unregulated, the offshore stuff, they have to give you a little bit sweeter of a deal because they also are completely in control of your funds. And in the instance, this needs to be set up front, in the instance that any of these brokerages go under, meaning they stop operating businesses, a lot of their transactions are all in Bitcoin. They do not, and I repeat, have any obligation or third-party watch over that's going to make sure that you get your funds back. So if any of these brokerages, if Hugosway, HankoTrade, Sway markets, the ones that are not thoroughly regulated, especially for US clients where there's like a jurisdiction where it's actually protecting you as an individual, if they walk away, your money's gone, right? So anytime you trade on these brokerages, I have to give you the heads up, you're taking a 100% risk on your capital. Now, I had some people respond to my last video saying, well, you take risk anytime you trade. Yes, but that's calculated and risk that you can control. But if you're just putting your money in an offshore account and hoping that the brokerage sticks around, it's like taking a 100% loss if when you are ready to withdraw, they refuse the payout. So anyways, that's a whole nother topic, but what's going on with this current situation? Well, it seems like for whatever reason, MetaQuotes is no longer offering these products to unregulated brokerages in particular. That is a huge problem because Traders love MetaTrader, and a lot of these new ones that are being offered, I know HankoTrade is doing like ACT Trader or Act Trader, whatever you call it. Tick Trader is one Hugosway's got. So lots of different new platforms are kind of being introduced. But I'm going to be honest, I think people are just going to really try and find their MetaTrader or their MetaTrader equivalent. And while the new brokerage platforms or new trading platforms might be feasible for some, here's my guess. They're not that popular. People don't like them as much, and people like what they like. If they like MetaTrader, they like TradingView. Those are the ones that people like. Some people like NinjaTrader, but it's a vast minority of traders that use that compared to the big two, which I would say is TradingView and MetaTrader. Quick thing for you to think about on the liability side. Why is TradingView offering services to a lot of regulated brokerages? Well, it's because there is some liability there too. Again, from the software business background that I'm in, I understand if TradingView offers a business the right for traders to trade directly on that platform, there is some liability there, right? It's like, well, you have this hosted up on your site to trade with XYZ broker. It better be decently reputable, right? So anyways, that's something to think about. TradingView is offering their services mostly to regulated, trusted names in the brand, in the business that have good brands. Things like, of course, Oanda, which is linked down below in the description. That is the one that I recommend if you're looking for a Forex brokerage in the US specifically. That is a regulated place where you put money in there. You have several regulated US entities that are, or US regulations watching over your account. That to me is so important. You need to have that in the back of your mind that your funds are not at 100% risk every single day that they're parked in one of these offshore accounts. So anyways, I'll get to recommendations in a second in terms of brokerages that I like, but here's the thing. What's next for Hugosway, HankoTrade, and Sway Markets? Well, let me give you my opinion. If everyone likes MetaTrader 4 and 5, and these brokerages no longer can offer them, as a business, that is probably very hurtful to their revenues. If everyone is using their platform and loves MetaTrader 4 and 5, and that's why they're with that particular brokerage, and then suddenly MT4 and MT5 is not going very well, or it's not offered anymore, here's my guess. There's probably a huge withdrawal trend going on in these places as people move away from them. They probably don't want to trade on the new platforms. They're probably moving to places where they do have MetaTrader access or TradingView access. And if neither of those are offered by these companies, I just want to offer a big warning. If I was one of these businesses and everybody was leaving my platform and mass withdrawals were happening, it would get to be a tight ship pretty quickly. And guess what that means? The increased risk of your account getting locked out and withdrawals being held.
Which one of these is the trap door?
It's been going on in the crypto world, it's been going on in the prop firm world, withdrawals refused, freeze up on people's accounts. I just want to caution people. I did this with the prop firm thing before my Forex funds kind of went down. All of that stuff that went down, I don't want to sort of pat myself on the back because I was very early to it, but I was calling very early on that any sort of casino model regulation could get involved with like the what we saw with the FTC, right? The point is, I'm saying right now that if you look at the revenue sources for these companies, they're getting smacked right now. In my opinion, this is my best guess because we don't know. My best guess is they're getting smacked right now because people don't want to trade with the new platforms. They're leaving because they can't use MetaTrader 4 and 5. And if that happens, guess what happens to all the accounts that are currently with them? They become suddenly more at risk of being frozen, or perhaps the company goes out of business, and then suddenly your funds are gone. So I think, this is my opinion, I'm moving completely away from unregulated brokerages. Now you might say, well, Nick, then I can't trade with 500 to 1 leverage and I can't trade all the CFDs and different things. And I understand. I'm not saying it's convenient. I'm not saying this isn't frustrating. It totally is. I'm saying that let's look at the reality. MT4, the liabilities are high. The risk to your account is suddenly higher, in my opinion. I'm out of there. I'm completely not trading with any unregulated brokerages. I haven't for several years. And I don't think that the risk is worth it. I think that your risk of account blow up by withdrawal refusal is way too high, especially with revenue sources being threatened from the loss of MT4 and 5. So you have to look at it full picture. I'm trying to look at it both from the, the business's point of view, like what's going on behind the scenes, as well as, as a user, don't let your entire account be risked by this situation. So the next question is, who is impacted by this? Mostly US, Canadian, UK traders that have limited options in their countries are heavily impacted by this, because a lot of traders in the US, they don't want to do US regulations. I can speak from just, my experience as a US client and knowing a lot of US traders. They go to offshore or prop firms so that they can kind of slide by the whole regulation thing. And in my opinion, while it can work, you're also playing a very dangerous game, as I've alluded to in this video so far. My point is, as we go into this new territory where companies that are offering, U.S. clients offshore accounts and things like that, it's a little bit sketchy. And I think that there's some crackdown coming that could really change the landscape for trading in the future here. So finally, what is the solution? I'm going to give you mine. People have given me some flack on this, but I'm going to give you my personal opinion. The solution is don't trade unregulated. The answer, in my opinion, is not fun for everybody because people disagree with me, and I'm just stating my opinion here. I think the answer is get the heck out of offshore accounts, get the heck out of unregulated accounts, because you can lose 100% of your capital in these things if they were to go away. Again, I'm not saying that they will. I'm saying that is a possibility. It happened in the prop firm space recently. It could happen again. You want to have your money. Again, you work so hard to have a trading account in the first place. If you're somebody who is building up your capital, do not take 100% risk every single day that you're invested in these platforms. In my opinion, go for the regulated accounts. I made this point in my last video, but it is a premium that you pay to not have all the special perks, deposit bonuses, leverage. You forebode that, you put that to the side as a premium that you pay in order to have account protection, which is the number one thing. At the end of the day, the number one thing when choosing a broker, in my opinion, is pick something that you can get your money in and out of without any problems, and it's safe. At the end of the day, that you do not want to take an unnecessary 100% risk to your account every time you trade. Period. That's my opinion. So how can traders still get decent conditions? Well, if you're US, you're Canadian, if you are in a country that has these limited restrictions, I put links down below in the description to my personal picks. Now, this is my opinion, and people will feel free to disagree with me on this. Well, my opinion is go with a regulated brokerage. I've got a couple linked down below in the description that I personally prefer. If you're looking to trade with FX, or if you're trying to trade currency pairs, I personally recommend and use Oanda. If you are looking to trade on, if you're looking to trade stock indices, gold, etc., you have two options. You can either trade on the futures market, which I personally do not. I personally prefer to trade on a stock brokerage like Webull, which is linked down below as well. Why? Well, because I like to trade ETFs. I find them very easy to trade, and it's just my preferred way of doing it. They also offer some really cool sign-up perks that are, again, totally within regulation, compliance, that sort of thing. And again, yes, you are giving away some of the, massive leverage options and all the different things that you can do. However, your account will be safe. You have access to wonderful platforms. And by the way, both of all three of the brokers that are listed down below in the description, guess what you can move to? TradingView.com. And this, you can trade directly on TradingView.com with the brokerages down below. So while MetaTrader is doing all this funny business, if you just want to get back to trading and you want to trade on a regulated, safe platform, again, my recommendation, my suggestion to consider is go with a regulated brokerage that you've done your due diligence on. So as always, I hope this video was helpful to you. I know people are going to disagree with me because they don't want to go with the regulated, but in my opinion, it's a premium you pay to have an account that is not going to get washed away suddenly. Imagine the pain, and this has happened to many people. So I'm speaking from hearing stories about this. People suddenly they request a withdrawal. They've been trading on a platform for 3 years. They've built up a trading account, and they look to withdraw, and they can't get it out of the account. It's like, you just wasted 3 years. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? If you're trading and you're working hard to grow an account, the last thing you need to be dealing with is I can't get my money out, right? They're refusing my withdrawals, and you have no way. It's not like you can go knock on their door in New York City or wherever they have an offer. It's because it's in some random, very far away place that's kind of a shell company kind of thing. Just not worth it. Not worth it. Trading is hard enough to become consistently profitable and to grow an account without the risk of losing all of it or shady business happening behind the scenes that nobody is looking out for your account. Can regulated companies do shady things? Sure, but they can also be held accountable, audited, checked, looked over. Compliance can be all over them. That's the point. I think you're always taking risk in markets. That is true. But why take massive unnecessary risk by trading with a brokerage that could completely walk away with all your money at any point and there's nothing you could do about it? My point of view, I know it's harsh, I know it's strict, but I'm trying to get a warning out here that revenue sources are getting cut from this MetaTrader situation. And I think it's very worth pointing out. That is why I'm so dedicated to getting this picture out. Hope it was helpful to you. I hope it made you think about it at the very least. Even if you do choose to stick around with unregulated brokerages and take that risk, I hope you at least thought about and are now knowledgeable. I had some comments on the last one that I did. People were like, I had no idea I was even taking that kind of risk. Every single day that your money is in an offshore, unregulated brokerage where there's no protection, you could at any point lose 100% of your money invested. To me, not worth it, period. Again, brokers link down below in the description. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you do choose to use those links, have a wonderful rest of your day. If you're looking to improve as a trader, we've got some cool free resources here that I wanted to share as we close today's video. Down below in the description, there is a link to join our Discord channel or our Telegram channel. And we also have our website, a1trading.com, where traders can get access to free course material to help you improve as a trader. Remember, we are also live Monday through Friday on this channel around 9:30 a.m. US Eastern, broadcasting most live news events and that sort of thing. So hope to see you there. And also, we do have a couple videos here showing up on the screen. If either of these seems like it might be helpful to you, then make sure to click here or here, and we'll see you there.